a moment, I just want to say this is a sign-up sheet, and since you now know my name, I would appreciate it if you would sign up. Just let us know that you were here and tell us your name. There's another kind if you need it, but there's one in there. So I'm the founder of Veritey, and Veritey is a website that is changing the way people shop for healthy living products. And I'm not just the founder of Veritey, I'm also the mom of 3 little children who are, I like to call them the canaries in the coal mine. They are very sensitive little people. They are all under the age of 4. And I've always been a person who wanted to be eco-conscious and mindful of the kind of products that I used on my own self. And also certainly on my children. But as I really got into having kids and looking at products, I think for many of us who are moms, we realize, or dads, we realize that there are just so many layers that that kind of mindfulness includes, and that it's actually really hard to find truly safe, truly non-toxic, truly clean, if you will, products, dare I even say healthy products. You know, I'm just looking for ones that aren't going to do any harm, let alone, you know, give you an added boost. And so I started Veritey because it was the product I so desperately wanted and needed. And as I did that, my background is as a journalist. So I set out doing it in a pretty methodical way. And there's a lot of research out there. It's just so disaggregated. I started bringing it together, looking at this, looking at that, combining things across disciplines, if you will, different people saying, scientists saying different things, combining that with what other chemists might be finding in different areas. And people started to ask me, you know, what are you, welcome, come on in. What are you know, Amy, what are you using as sunblock for your kids? Are you using sunblock? What are you washing your bottles with? What kind of bottles are you using? Can I look in your nursery? Can I look under your sink? And I realized there is a market need here, you know, it's not just me. And in fact, I realized it's not just me and people exactly like me with very little kids who are maybe breaking out because of the stuff in their diapers, but people like Adrienne Paris, my co-founder. Hi, Adrienne.
Hey.
Who was really attracted to the concept of Veritey because she carries the BRCA gene, the BRCA cancer, breast cancer and ovarian cancer gene. She lost her mother to breast cancer. And so she started thinking about, how do I, what at Veritey we call health up my life, to get rid of the toxins, to get these things out of my everyday products, of my everyday surroundings. What can I do to live cleaner? And so she was really attracted to Veritey, and it just so happens that we had worked together for over a decade, and it was just the perfect time and alignment in life. And we set on this journey to help share what we were learning with the world, because it's our mission to change the world and change the products that are being made, and in so doing, consciously shift share. It's something we call capitalism. And so when we talk about health at Veritey, we're talking about a picture of health that we think needs to be talked about more, needs to be promoted more. And I'd like to use this opportunity with a lot of people in this room who are kind of healthy-minded, to ask you some questions to kind of show you, demonstrate a little bit about how we approach things. So by a show of hands, I'd love to run through a couple of questions, and raise your hand if yes is your answer. And I'm going to go through these quickly, so get ready. You know, do you consider yourself healthy? Let's start there. Do you moderately healthy? Some of you, there's nobody's looking really. Okay, great. Do you consider yourself unhealthy? No, I'm just kidding. Don't answer. Do you watch your diet? Are you mindful about what you eat? Do you exercise regularly? Do you see a doctor regularly, annually? Do your physical checkup? Maybe a naturopath, chiropractor, other kind of wellness practitioner. Do you, when you think about shopping, do you buy organic when you can, if you can? Do you know what a GMO is? Okay. Do you try and source locally produced foods when possible? Great. We have a very, very savvy crowd here. Awesome. This sort of thinking extends beyond just what you're ingesting. It includes like beauty products. Do you think about what you're putting on your skin? Do you read the labels of what you're actually putting on your skin? A few, okay. Some. Do you actually know, if you read the label, the difference between a good ingredient and a bad one, or do you think you do? Do you, thanks for the honesty. Do you read the labels of your cleaning products?
Yes.
Do you know, can you name 3 common household carcinogenics? Okay. Do you use dry cleaner? Do you use an eco dry cleaner? Do you, it's New York, let's all face it. Do you have insects? Do you spray? Does your building spray? Do they spray the hallways? Okay, so all of this stuff, these are the kinds of questions that we're obsessed with at Veritey. I could go on with the list for days, but we think about all of those things, and in fact we have this little Veritey health pyramid, and it consists of, a lot of the stuff that I've just asked you points towards, what goes into being healthy, your diet, your fitness, your mental health, your internal health, going to the doctors, seeing someone regularly, getting, scientific, let's say, feedback to your status, health status. And then here at the apex, we do product health. That's really where Veritey lives. We're not trying to say that product health is more important than any of these other things, by the way. We're just trying to draw the attention that people previously have not been focused on their environment, what they invite into their immediate surroundings, into their home to create health. And the EPA has said that indoor air pollution is a pressing national problem because the stuff that we bring into our homes is toxic, by and large, a lot of it. To give you some kind of illustrations on that, let me give you a couple of statistics. So the average US American household actually uses 25 gallons of toxic chemicals annually. 25 gallons is a lot of chemicals. Not surprisingly, I guess a correlative perhaps with that is that there are 7 million accidental poisonings annually in the US. And as a mom to kids, this one's frightening. 75% of those accidental poisonings are for children under the age of 6. There is every 30 seconds an accidental poisoning for a child. So that says something about what's living in our houses and under our sink, right? There are 80,000 chemicals, by and large that's the number that's used, 80,000 chemicals that are in use for making the products that kind of go into our, into the products that we use every day, everything from hanging wallpaper to painting walls to nail polish and, making our iPads, right? So of those 80,000 chemicals, 62,000 of them have been grandfathered into use, safe use into your home, including the so-called safe, right? Including the toxicant bisphenol A or BPA as we have come to know it. This stuff is all being invited in because the chemical producers or the manufacturers of goods largely are able to, because chemicals are innocent until proven guilty, and the onus is on us to prove them guilty. With your beauty products, I was asking how many of you read them and do you know whether or not they contain harmful ingredients, because we absorb 80% of what we put on our skin, as much as 80% of what we put on our skin. And yet 89% of the chemicals or the ingredients, frankly, that are going into our beauty products have not been tested for safety. We just don't know. I'm not saying they're all necessarily bad. We actually know a lot of the bad ones. They're in the Veritey database, thank you very much. But we don't know enough about these things, and Veritey wants to see that changed. We want to see that changed. So at Veritey, we really live in this space of how do we make that change, and the way we do it is by consciously shifting share, by telling people not everything about what isn't good, but simply curating and selecting what is good. And not just what makes it through our screening process. We actually have a science panel, and we have a big database that we've built and is always growing. The more that we do, the more that we get used, the smarter our database actually gets. It grows as we grow. But we also, we like to say, we mom test everything. So every product on Veritey has been tested by us for its goodness, and we like to say we proffer good goods. So they are looked at in four main areas, healthy, non-toxic, eco-sustainable, cruelty-free, and socially responsible, and those are the seals that you'll see on Veritey. So that's a little bit about Veritey and what we do, and I'm so proud to be able to share this day with two fantastic co-hosts. I'd like to turn the floor over to them, and just in closing say, I really hope that you will join us, join Veritey. It is very much meant to be by the community and for the community. We ask for people to give their suggestions, tell us products that they're using, that they've found, ask whether or not we think that those are also good, and also tell us, are you using a diaper that you found irritates your child's bottom and you don't think the formula is what it used to be, and send up what we call send up a flare and tell the community, no, something's wrong with this, because Veritey is as good as all of us are at policing this, and we can change the world and the kind of products that are made and change the effects that we have, the impact downstream, and this is the way that the world changes. One person at a time, one product at a time, one home at a time. Thank you. Thank you all for being here.